Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it's time for the Max Olympics! By the way, if you haven't seen my B Olympics, make sure you check it out after this video. You might be wondering why I'm talking like this. It's because Max is fast! Sorry, I gotta slow down, I can't keep up like this. Brawler overview. Max is a mythic brawler, and everything about her is speed. Now here's a look at her profile picture, and as you can tell, her moves are super fast and super slick. Now the only time that she slows down to take a break is after a defeat in battle. She's built for aerodynamics, and she stores a can of energy drink on her back that she can drink whenever she wants to speed things up. And of course, let's take a look at her personality.
No time, gotta move. Sorry, didn't see you there. Turn it to max. Faster than lightning. Let's go, come on. Zip, zap, kablam, pow, zap, sizzle.
Attack and super. Now for her attack, Max shoots out 4 quick energy blasts that don't deal a whole lot of damage by themselves. However, she has 4 ammo slots available, and her unload and reload speeds are super fast. So theoretically, she should be able to deal a lot of damage over a period of time. Now her aiming reticle is shaped like a narrow cone, but it's actually more similar to 8-Bit's attack, kind of at a shorter range. For her super, Max whips out an energy drink which boosts her own speed and the speed of friendly brawlers who are close to her whenever she activates it. This is a 34% speed boost, which is very fast. Now if you want to know exactly how fast, make sure you watch the rest of this video to find out. The results just might surprise you. First star power. Max's first star power is Supercharged. Max now charges her super while moving. It works if she's moving in a straight line, and it works just as fast if she's spinning in a circle. Welcome to the newest spinning brawler, guys. And it charges even faster if her movement speed is boosted by her super. Now in Brawl Talk, she had a charging bar, but they actually improved it to be more consistent. This is actually very similar to Daryl's super charge up mechanic, where it automatically charges. Now Daryl actually charges an entire super in 30 seconds, and Max actually charges hers in 32 seconds, so it's basically the same. Second star power. Now when Max is using her run and gun star power, she reloads faster while moving. Once again, this works whether she's spinning or just moving in a straight line. This is a 35% boost to Max's reload speed when she's moving, and it's a 43% speed boost to her reload speed if she's moving while using her super. That is a ridiculously fast reload speed. Now that we know how Max works, we're gonna put her in a bunch of tests that are designed to see how she compares to all other brawlers in various aspects of the game. We'll start out with the test that she does the worst in, and then move our way up to her best tests where she really thrives. I almost said where she really hives, but this isn't B's video. Make sure you watch that if you haven't already. The dive test. Now the dive test is a combination of health, speed, and damage to see how good a brawler is at facing a team, bursting them down, or obviously to see how much damage a brawler can do to the Ike turret if they need to finish it off really quickly. Max has speed on her side, but that is the only thing that she has. Now before dying, she's able to deal 3,114 damage, which places her in 29th for this competition. Unfortunately, Max really cracks under high pressure situations. The swarm test. Now this test compares brawlers to see how good they are at dealing with multiple targets. It's a really hard test to do Max with because she has to keep moving in order to speed up her reload speed. She has to also balance that with her star power or her super. And because I made a few mistakes, I actually gave her a few seconds lead on this test. Even with that, Max takes 24 seconds to finish this test, which places her in 28th out of 32 brawlers. That is really not very good, and Max is not very good at handling multiple targets. The assassin test. Now this test compares how good brawlers are at taking out an enemy in as little time as possible. Typically, brawlers are limited in this test by how many ammo slots they have available, but using her run and gun star power paired with her super, she's able to unload 5 complete shots and part of a 6th shot within the 3 seconds that she's allowed to deal damage to the target. In total, she's able to deal 7,958 damage, which places her in 26th place out of the 32 brawlers. Now, most brawlers are able to deal a lot more because they can use their supers for this test, and while Max's super does definitely help with her reload speed, it doesn't do any damage, which puts Max at a disadvantage. I actually think that Max will be a pretty bad assassin regardless, because although she's going to have her shots available whenever she needs them, her attack really doesn't deal enough burst damage for her to pull off a quick kill unless the enemy is out of ammo or they have really low HP. She's more of a medium range runner who can actually chase down weakened targets while dodging shots. The range test. When put up against the ruler, Max has a range of 8 tiles with her regular attack, which is the 18th longest range in the game. By the way, that's right in the middle of the brawlers. So for reference, this actually means that she has the same range as Carl and Tara. It also means that she has a slightly shorter range than Crow and a slightly longer range than Shelly. Her super doesn't help her much for this test either. It looks like it has a range of 3 2/3 tiles, but after testing it, the effectiveness of her super is 1/3 of a tile shorter than it actually looks. Now, when compared to all supers and all attacks, she takes 25th for the total range test. Not very impressive. With that said though, what Max is lacking in range, she makes up for her ability to dodge shots. The attack test. Now in this test, we compare how much damage Max can do with a single attack to all other brawlers in the game. With one attack, she deals a total of 1,384 damage, which puts her in 25th place. Now for reference, that's right between Gene without his Spirit Slap star power and Crow's attack without the poison. However, this test is a bit unfair for Max because while most brawlers have 3 ammo, she actually has a 4th, so the boss test later in the video is going to be a better way to determine how she does consistently. The survival test. Max has 4.9 thousand HP at max level, which I know doesn't sound very exciting, but it actually means that her 1v1 interactions are very different than any of the brawlers in the game. Well, most of the brawlers in the game. She's most comparable to Gene and Shelly at 5,040 health, but she only lasts 12.5 seconds against a sniper bot, which places her in 20th place for the survival test. I should mention that Max's ability to dodge shots is not accounted for in this test, which actually means that she has a higher survivability than this test would suggest. Even then though, Max really doesn't have a whole lot of HP, so you're gonna have to be careful with her. The boss test. Now this test compares brawlers to see how good they are at long-term DPS. Using her run and gun star power, repeated supers, and a lot of spinning to reload her shots faster, Max is able to take out the boss in 68.6 seconds, which puts her in 18th place for the boss test. Now for reference, this is slightly worse than Jessie and slightly better than Pam. It's very average, and I think that Max is going to be very average when it comes to dealing consistent damage, even when you factor in her star power and fast reload speed into the mix. The Supercharge Test. Now Max requires 16 projectiles in order for her to charge her super, which means 4 complete attacks. With or without her supercharged star power, she's able to complete this in 1.7 seconds, which is very similar to M's. Now, one interesting thing to note is that assuming you actually hit your shots, Max actually charges her super faster with her run and gun star power than with her supercharged star power. Like I said though, that is assuming you're hitting all of your shots consistently and you're moving around like crazy to, reload her shots faster. However, my guess is that if your goal is actually like speed for a mode like Brawl Ball, Present Plunder, maybe even Heist, Max will be better off with her supercharged star power. The Race Test. Now in this test, brawlers are allowed 1 super, their star powers, and their movement speed to see how quickly they can cover an entire length of the map. This is an important factor for modes like Brawl Ball or Heist, where covering distance really makes a big difference. Max has an above average movement speed without her super, which actually ties her for the fastest walking speed along with Crow, Leon, and Mortis. But her super gives her a ridiculously fast running speed for 5 seconds. She ends up taking 5th place for this test, and as you can see, she's actually slightly faster than Bull with his super, and slightly slower than Rico with his Robo Retreat star power. The Reload Test. Now this test compares how often brawlers will have their shots available whenever they need it, by seeing how long it takes for them to unload and reload 10 shots. When not using her run and gun star power, Max finishes this test in 17.2 seconds, which is the 7th fastest time out of all of the brawlers. This is very similar to Crow and Rosa's reload speed, which you guys know is very fast. But when using her run and gun star power, she finishes it in 11.2 seconds, which is the 2nd fastest time, just barely faster than B's reload speed. However, guys, that's not even the fastest that Max can complete this challenge. When using her run and gun star power while supering and spinning super crazy fast to further increase her reload speed, she finishes this test in 9.75 seconds. It's still not enough for her to beat Carl, but let's be honest guys, Carl rarely reloads at that speed in battle either way. So even though Max is technically 2nd in this challenge, she is 1st in my heart as the fastest shooter in the game. Basically, she can spam her shots whenever she wants. The Sprint Test. Now normally we would show the super test, but Max's super doesn't deal damage at all. So I came up with the Sprint Test to compare how fast brawlers can move when they're running. The starting point is here, and the finishing line is here. It's a mad dash to see which brawlers have the fastest movement speed, and brawlers can use star powers to speed them up, they can use supers, but they cannot use charges, jumps, dashes, or anything else that you cannot control with your movement joystick. First up is BB with her home run star power. Clearly, Max is the superior sprinter and wins with ease. Now next up is El Primo with Meteor Rush. He is fast, but Max is actually 15% faster than El Primo. Now, Robo Retreat Rico gives his best to try and top Max, and typically he would win because he can go so fast for such a long period of time, but Max ends up beating him when it comes to this short sprint. Last of all, we've got the current champion of the sprint test, Smoke Trails Leon. Leon and Max actually have the same base movement speed, but Smoke Trails boosts Leon's movement speed by 24%. If you've been paying attention to this video, you already know who's going to win. It's pretty close, but as you can see, Max ends up taking the victory and proves her dominance as the fastest sprinter in the game. With her super activated, she has an impressive movement speed of 3 2/3 tiles per second. Interestingly enough, in the race test, Leon and Max end up tying for 5th place. Max's super makes her go faster than Leon's Smoke Trail Star power does, but Leon's invisibility lasts for 2 seconds longer, and it all evens out by the end of the race. Also, in case you're curious, Max's sprint speed is almost 2 times faster than 8-Bit's walking speed. Now, after limited play testing with Max, I'm going to quickly rank her in all of the modes. In my opinion, she's going to be F tier in both Lone Star and Bounty because she has low burst potential and short range. I think she's going to be B tier in Siege because she offers very little control and doesn't really deal very much damage to the boss or the Ike turret. However, I do think that she's going to be playable on some maps where she can act as a bolt runner, where she literally just runs to pick up bolts as quickly as she can and then lets her teammates deal damage to the Ike turret. I think she's going to be B tier in both solo and duo showdown. I think she's going to do an okay job at surviving because she can dodge shots so well. She may even be slightly better in duo showdown because she can speed boost a teammate when it really counts, but kind of a niche option and not necessarily the best. I'm actually going to put her in the B tier for takedown. She doesn't have a very good consistent damage because of a low damage dealing super, but takedown really isn't about dealing damage with your super. It's about attack damage, and Max has the fastest effective reload speed in the game. Plus, she's really fast, so she'll be able to get to the boss when it really counts. I don't think that she's going to be amazing, but I think she'll be playable. For Heist, I think she'll be viable only because of her ability to boost teammates' running speed to the safe. Definitely not the most competitive option though. Once again, B tier and Gem Grab, she might be good on some maps as an anti-thrower brawler who can actually like dodge shots really well, but that's about it. Maybe speeding up to pick up gems. For Brawl Ball, I actually think it's gonna be one of her better modes. I'm going A tier, okay? Speed is very important, which she has. Also, she has a fast reload speed, which means that kicking the ball won't really matter to her very much. Her speed boost will also be incredibly helpful with getting the ball to the goal or helping a teammate get there. Seriously though, like just think of like a bull running as fast as she can to bring it to the goal. Like it's really, really solid. And of course, I think her best game mode is going to be Present Plunder. By far the best. Everything that makes her good in Brawl Ball makes her even better in Present Plunder, where she can just run, grab that present super right before she grabs it, and then zip on out of there. Like, just such a good brawler for this mode. Overall, I think Max is going to be slightly on the weak side of things when she's first released, but she's going to be so much fun, and she's probably going to have a very high skill cap, which is very exciting to the game. She's unlike any other character in the game, and I'm really curious to know what you guys think of her. So, let me know. Also, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have not seen my video for B, I think I shouted it out for like 3 times here. I don't know why I'm doing it a whole lot, but make sure you guys check it out. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more Brawl Stars content. And for now, guys, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.